We finally get to see a Kyber crystal being bled on screen for the first time. But do you know why Sith lightsabers glow red? The Kyber crystal that powers a Jedi weapon does not naturally glow red. Crystals lack color before they are chosen by a Jedi. Once chosen, most lightsabers became blue or green, though other shades were created in some instances, most notably Mace Windu's purple blade or the yellow blades of the Jedi Temple guards. The resulting crystal and blade color was decided through the shifting to match the nature of the bonded owner. But with that said, a Sith could not just pick up a crystal and have it bond with his or her dark side nature. There is a process to this, and this process is known as bleeding a crystal. Bleeding was accomplished by pouring rage, hate, fear, and pain into the Kyber crystal by means of the dark side of the Force until the crystal changed, resulting in the crimson bladed lightsaber, associated almost exclusively with dark side adepts. Since Kyber crystal was inherently aligned with the light side of the Force, they could attempt to resist the Force corruption. When Darth Vader first attempted to bleed a Kyber crystal, he experienced intense light side Force visions, urging him to return to the light side. The procedure could also damage the crystal, as was the case with the Kyber crystal at the heart of Ben Solo's Jedi lightsaber. Solo's attempt at bleeding it resulted in the crystal cracking and forced Solo, now going by Kylo Ren, to modify his lightsaber into a cross-guard model in order to vent the excess energy from the unstable crystal. Any Kyber crystal could be bled by a Force user, including one's own, for example if they were a former light side practitioner and kept their lightsaber. However, some Sith believed that the proper method was to take a Kyber crystal from a Jedi's lightsaber and bleed it. It was possible to heal the effects of bleeding on a Kyber crystal by using the light side of the Force, thus changing the crystal's color again. The process typically resulted in a white crystal, but have we actually seen this process being done? In a comic shortly after the formation of the Galactic Empire, Dark Lord of the Sith and Galactic Emperor Darth Sidious explained the bleeding process to his Sith apprentice, Darth Vader. Having lost his Jedi weapon on Mustafar, Vader was in need of a new lightsaber. Sidious tasked his apprentice with tracking down and killing a member of the Jedi Order, as Sith tradition dictated that the Kyber crystal of a Sith lightsaber must be taken from a Jedi they killed. Vader, having accepted his mission, was able to locate Jedi Master Karak Infala. After killing Infala, Vader took his lightsaber with him when he departed. On his master's orders, Vader traveled to Mustafar, where he had recently suffered his greatest defeat. Sidious wanted the Sith Lord to bleed Master Infala's crystal on the surface of the planet. Upon reaching the planet's surface, Vader entered a cave that was strong with the dark side. He proceeded to dismantle the curved hilt lightsaber and place the Jedi Master's Kyber crystal on a rock. Using the Force, Vader began subjecting the crystal to the bleeding technique. However, the crystal resisted, subjecting Vader to Force visions of what his life could be if he had chose to abandon the dark. In a vision, Vader returned to the light side of the Force and killed his Sith Master before returning to his Jedi Master, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and begging for forgiveness. Vader, having been thrown against the wall of the cave by the living crystal, returned to his feet and refused to give in. Grasping the crystal with both hands, Vader unrelentingly subjected the crystal to his pain and regret. Vader screamed as the cave erupted in a stream of Force energy. Eventually, the crystal's will was finally shattered by the Dark Lord, who subsequently returned to Coruscant and presented his efforts to his master. But this was a comic, and this process has yet been seen on screen, that is, until the new game called Jedi Survivor. We see Jedi Cal Kestis free a High Republic Jedi that was preserved in Bacta. Once freed, Cal attempted to get the Jedi Dagan Gera to join his fight against the Galactic Empire, but Dagan was trapped against his will by the Jedi and held on to so much pain and hatred for them. While explaining this to Cal, his emotions are being poured into his Jedi Kyber crystal until it was bleeding red. This was absolutely amazing and very cool to see on screen, but a bit underwhelming when you compare it to Vader's experience. I am aware that everyone may have their own experience, which is why I thought it was very cool to see.